Hello and welcome to our Big Fish Kids Club first ever week.
Yes. Hello, I'm Becky.
I'm Steve, and you may well hear our little one Elisha in the background as well. And we're glad to welcome you into our homes for our Big Fish Kids Club.
Yes, that is Elisha that you can hear shouting quite loudly because he can see the picture of us on our TV screen at the moment. So we're going to do lots of fun different things. We're going to have a game, we're going to have some craft, we're going to have a story, we're going to have our friend Luke the puppet as well.
Yep.
We're going to do lots of fun things.
But we're going to start off with a game just in case there's some people who are a bit late joining us and that, so that they can then experience all the exciting things that we've got to come as well. So, Becky, it's a bit awkward us playing a game, isn't it? With us being here and you obviously being in your homes or wherever you are. And so we thought this game, though, might work. What game are we going to play, Becky?
So we are going to play Animal Karate. Now, a friend of ours introduced us to this game, and usually the person that's going to be our karate expert would usually be blindfolded, but as we can't see you at all at the moment, we're not going to blindfold Steve because Steve is going to be our karate expert
I'm ready
for
to go.
this game. So you can play along at home if you would like to. There is going to be a little bit of honesty needed, so you're going to, if you're out, then you need to be out rather than just
need to sit down. We're only going to play a couple of rounds, so you'll it won't take very long at all. So if you're out, don't worry. But if you are one of the people that gets to the end and is a winner, then get your grown up to message us and let us know, and we might give you a bit of a shout out as being one of our winners today. We'll sort of see.
Yes, we will.
So how do we play today?
So we start with, I will say, Animal Karate Kids, do your thing, and you have to choose between 3 different options. You choose a giraffe, a crocodile, snap, snap, or a penguin. Now, usually your arms will be all the way down, but if Steve does that, you won't be able to see them, so he's going to be up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then you choose your action, you stick to your action, and then I will say, Animal Karate Expert, it's your turn.
Yep.
And you will then go,
Hi-ya! And I'll pick one of the 3 things. And if I pick the same one as you, then you're out and you need to sit down. But if you're not out, then you stay up and you'll be in for the next round as well. So we'll sort of see how we go. So, Becky, you ready? Shall we get the Animal Karate Kids to do their one first? Okay?
Yes, we shall. So, Animal Karate Kids, do your thing. So, hi-ya!
Choose whichever one it is, whether you've got the giraffe, the crocodile, or the penguin. Stick with it. Don't change now. And now.
Okay, so Animal Karate Expert, do your thing.
Hi-ya!
So Steve has picked crocodile. So if you have also picked crocodile, then you would be needing to sit down for the next couple of rounds. Okay, so we are going to try again. So we are going to do another round. So Animal Karate Kids, do your thing.
Hi-ya!
And you guys choose which of the 3 you want to be.
Okay, so ready.
And then
I'm sure I got lots of them out the first round, so we'll sort of see. There's probably not many left now, but we'll see.
Okay, Steve.
Here we go.
So, Animal Karate Expert, do your thing.
Hi-ya!
So Steve has picked penguin this time. If you have picked penguin this time, then you would be out. Okay, so you'd need to sit down.
So, last round. This is the last chance. So if you're still in, you've got a good chance of being one of our winners today in the game. So we'll sort of see how we go.
Okay, so Animal Karate Kids, do your thing. Hi-ya!
Okay, so last time for the expert. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm thinking. What are they going to have picked? Okay, yeah, I've got it. I'm ready. Here we go.
Okay, so Animal Karate Expert, do your thing.
Hi-ya!
And Steve, being very sneaky, has picked the penguin once again. So, if you had a different one to the one that Steve has, then you are one of our winners.
Yay! Well done. Give yourselves a big clap. Give yourselves a bit of a cheer, that kind of thing as well. Now, as Becky mentioned earlier, we've got lots of exciting things for you today. We've got a story later on. We're going to have a bit of craft later on. We're going to have our friend Luke. But if you want to join in with our craft, then you might have seen on our Facebook page that we posted up some things that you needed to make sure you had, but we're going to remind you of those now, just in case you didn't see that before. So, Becky, what do we need for the craft today?
Okay, so for the craft today, we need a paper plate or some card in the shape of a paper plate. We'll need some colouring pencils or crayons, that kind of thing, a glue stick, a piece of paper, and a pair of scissors. I think that's everything.
I think that's everything. Excellent.
But do not worry if you can't get involved with the...
That's fine. So, but don't worry if you can't get involved with the craft. You can always do it at a later stage or that kind of thing as well. But now, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be singing a song. So we picked out a song that we thought that you would perhaps know and be able to do. And this song is called Great Big God. I love this song because it's an excellent song. It sings about how amazing and incredible God is. So the words will come up on the screen and you also see Becky doing the action. So sing as loud as you can. Do the best accents you can. And we hope that you enjoy.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hand. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He is higher than a skyscraper, and He's deeper than a submarine. He is wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hand. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He's higher than a skyscraper and deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. 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 We didn't have to finish. He holds us in His hands.
Hello, I hope you enjoyed that song and I hope you were able to join in with the actions and different things that Becky was doing as well. But now it's time for our friend Luke to join us. Now, Luke is a little bit shy, so what I need you to do is I need you to call out his name as loud as you can to make sure that he knows that he feels welcome and that you want him to appear. So after 3, I need you to call out Luke as loud as you can. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Luke! And it doesn't seem to have worked. We need to go louder than that. So you've got to be really loud. Because you're quite far away from where we are here in Cardiff, you've got to go as loud as you can. So you ready after 3? 1, 2, 3. Luke! No, he still doesn't think it was loud enough. Okay, we're going to have to go even louder again. Okay, here we go. Big deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Luke!
Oh, hello there.
Hiya there, Luke.
Steve?
Yes, Luke.
Where are we?
Well, Luke, we're in our house.
Hi, Elisha.
But Luke, you know why we're here. I explained this to you earlier. We're doing Big Fish live.
But this isn't where we normally go to do things.
I know we're often in church, Luke, but actually because of everything that's going on at the moment, people can't leave their houses, and so we're doing this in our house and sending it to their houses so that they can see you.
So Are they in the camera then?
Yeah. So they're through the camera. That's why we've got the camera there, yeah.
They must be very small then, Steve.
Why must they be very small?
Well, if they're in the camera...
Well, no, look. They're not in the camera, but the camera allows them to see us and what we're doing when they're back in their houses.
Oh. Hello in there.
Look.
How are... Yes.
You don't need to speak like that. They can hear you if you speak normally. And they can see everything you're doing as well.
So they can see if I wave hello.
Yeah, they can see that if you wave hello. Yeah.
And they can see if I brush my hair.
Yeah, they can see that as well, yeah.
And they can see if I do this.
Look. You're meant to be on your best behaviour. No picking of your nose or anything like that.
Oopsie.
Okay, but anyway, Luke, there was something I really wanted to ask you. It's like, in the dining room the other day, we had a bag full of Easter eggs, but I can't seem to find it now anyway. Have you moved it?
I don't know anything about a large bag of Easter eggs. Yummy chocolate Easter eggs, no.
The way you're sort of saying that to me, Luke, makes me think that maybe you do know something about the bag of Easter eggs. Luke, have you moved the bag of Easter eggs?
What bag of yummy chocolate Easter eggs? I don't know what you're talking about, Steve.
Luke, I know that you like chocolate lots and lots and lots.
I do like chocolate. Chocolate is very, very yummy.
Luke, I wonder, have you eaten the Easter eggs?
Maybe I started on one and then I finished one and it was very, very yummy. So I ate another one and I got a bit of a tummy ache, but I still really, really like chocolate, so I kept eating.
Luke, not all of those Easter eggs were for you. They were for other people as well. Luke, you know you shouldn't have eaten those eggs.
No.
Luke, what do we have to say when we do things that are wrong?
Please, can I have an Easter egg?
Well, Luke, it is good to say please when we have something, but what do we have to do? What do we have to say when we've done things that are wrong? You know you shouldn't have eaten Easter eggs. What do you need to say?
Sorry.
You have to say you're sorry. One sec. Let me just retrieve this other little person from behind by here.
Hello.
You have to say you're sorry, don't you?
Yes.
So it's important to say we're sorry, sort of thing. So Luke, are you going to say sorry for eating Easter eggs?
Sorry.
It doesn't sound like you really mean it. Luke.
It was yummy chocolate, Steve.
But look, when we say we're sorry, we need to say it in a way that shows that actually we mean that we're really sorry, but also that we're not going to do it again.
But it was really, really yummy, Steve.
Look, even though it was really yummy, when you do something that's wrong like that, you need to say you're really sorry and mean it. Look, in fact, our story today is about someone who realised that actually they needed to say they were sorry and actually needed to show that they meant it as well. I wonder, do you want to settle down in your bunk,
yes,
have a
please.
listen to our story, see what you think, and maybe it'll help you think about what it means to say you're sorry.
Okay.
So, do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Bye.
Okay, so as Luke goes to settle down in his bunk then, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a Bible story to sort of explain what it means to say we're sorry and why it's so important for us to say it and say it in a way that means it. So, here's our story. I hope you enjoy it this week. I wonder, do you have a favourite dream? A dream you love to dream more than any other dream? Now, the Bible doesn't tell us, but I wonder whether the man in our story today, I wonder whether he might have had a favourite dream. You know, I think if he had a favourite dream, it would have been something like this. He would have dreamt about being sat on a desert island in the middle of nowhere with no one else around. The sun beating down upon him, the waves gently lapping on the shore, and not a single person to bother him. That might seem like a bit of a strange dream to you, but if you ask your mums and your dads, or your teachers when you get back into school, I'm sure they'll tell you that they would love to have a dream just like that. But as I said, the Bible doesn't tell us whether he had a dream like that or not. But I wonder whether he might have been dreaming a dream, perhaps that dream, when our story starts. Because you see, he was fast asleep, dreaming of that desert island in the middle of nowhere, when suddenly he woke up. He thought he heard somebody call his name. He looked around. There was nobody there. That's what he thought. I'm sure I heard somebody call my name. I must have just imagined it. So he went back to sleep. Again he woke up. He thought he'd heard somebody call his name. Again he looked around everywhere. There was nobody there. What was going on? And then he thought, sometimes God speaks to people, doesn't he? Maybe it was God. So he said, God, was that you? And it was. God was speaking to him. God said to him that he had a really, really important job for him to do. God said that there were some people in a city far, far away
And they'd been really, really bad. And it had made God feel really, really sad. And God had said that unless they changed their ways, he was going to have to destroy their city. The man sat there and he said, God, you do realise that the people in this city are our enemies, don't you? They're not going to like me going there and telling them they've done things that are wrong. But God said you wanted him to go, and so the man knew he had to go. Because when God tells us to do something, we need to listen to it. So the man packed up his bags, and he started to walk down towards the shore. Because he decided that he was going to get a boat to go to the place where he needed to go. But as he was walking down towards the shore, he began to think again. He thought, they're really not going to like me telling them they've done things that are wrong. In fact, they're probably going to do things quite wrong to me because I've told them. Oh, what am I going to do? And that's when he came up with a plan. You see, to go to the place where God wanted him to go, the man had to get on a boat that was going, well, that way. But instead he got on a boat that was going that way. And he ran onto the ship as quick as he could. He ran down the steps, he ran into his room, he jumped onto the bed, he pulled the sheets over his head, and he thought, maybe, just maybe, God hasn't seen. But we know that's rather silly, don't we? We know that God sees absolutely everything we do. He sees all the good and amazing things we do, but he also sees all the bad things we do as well. All the, well, negative things. That's a bit like a negative or a take-away sign in maths, isn't it? And he sees all of those bad things that we do, and well, they cause a great big problem because the Bible actually says that all of those negative things we do actually separate us from God. They divide us from him and stop us from getting to know him and stop us from one day getting to be with him forever. But God's done something to sort it out. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Well, anyway, the captain of the ship looked out, and he thought that this must be the most glorious day to go sailing. The sun was shining in the sky, the waves were gently lapping against the side of the boat, the birds were tweeting, tweet, 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 the seagulls were singing, I do like to be beside the seaside, or whatever seagulls actually sing. And so the captain set sail. And as they were sailing along, so suddenly the captain noticed a black blob appear in the sky. That's odd, thought the captain. I didn't notice that there before. Where did that come from? He thought, well, I'll keep on sailing, it'll be fine. But as he kept on sailing, so the black blob got bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, the black blob got so big until it covered the entire sky that the captain could see. And then the captain realised something. He realised that, well, the sun was no longer shining. That the waves were no longer gently lapping against the side of the boat. The birds were no longer tweeting. The seagulls were, well, no longer singing. In fact, there wasn't a single sound at all. Everything was really, really still. And then, bang! Lightning shot out of the clouds. Rain started to pour down, heavier rain than the captain had ever seen before. The waves started to become up really big. They started to come up over the side of the ship. In fact, the waves were so big they were coming off the side of the picture. The captain was really, really scared. He'd been in plenty of storms, but he'd never seen one like this before. He called out as loud as he could, all hands on deck! Which means everybody get up here as quick as you can. Everybody race to the deck. The captain said, quick! Some God must be angry with us. Everybody pray to whichever God you worship and hopefully we'll be saved from this storm. One man pulled out a little wooden statue and he started to pray to that. But nothing happened. Another man pulled out a little stone statue of an animal and he started to pray to that. But, well, that didn't work either. Because you see, they weren't really God. Because you see, the Bible tells us there is only one true God. And he's not some kind of little wooden or stone statue, but he's an awesome and amazing and incredible God who loves us so much. The captain didn't know what to do. He looked around and that's when he realised that there was somebody missing. It's the man from our story, the main man in our story. Now I realise I haven't actually told you the name of the man in our story, have I? Some of you might have been able to guess by now. His name was Jonah. So the captain went downstairs to find where Jonah was. He found him in his room. He woke him up, said, how on earth can you be asleep in the middle of a storm like this? Come on up. We need to try and sort this out. He explained to Jonah everything that was going on and that how they thought that God must be angry with them. And Jonah said, oh, sorry, Captain. I think it's my fault. So the captain said, quick, tell us which one of these statues is your God and we'll all pray to him and hopefully the storm will stop. Jonah said, well, you see, Captain, my God is actually the one that made the heavens and the earth. Oh, said the captain. My God's the one that made the plants and the animals and the birds and the sea and everything else. Oh, said the captain. My God's actually the one that made you and made me. Oh, said the captain. what are we going to do? Jonah said, well, you know, I've often learned that when you have a problem, the best thing to do is to sort it out. The best thing to do is to get rid of that problem. You know, that's good advice, I think, as well, because I say that we have a problem as well, don't we? We have a problem of all the things that we think that are wrong, all the things we say that are wrong, all the things we do that are wrong, and the wrong inside of us that, well, divides us from God. And we need to get rid of that problem as well if we're going to one day get to know God and be with him forever. But you know, the Bible says there's nothing that we can do by ourselves to sort it out. But because God loves us so much, he did something about it. You see, the Bible actually tells us that God, as Jesus, came down out of heaven, down to earth. And he lived a perfect life, never doing anything wrong. And then at the end of his life, he was placed upon a cross. Not for anything that he'd done, because as I said, he hadn't done anything wrong. But he was placed there for all the wrong things that you and I have done. All the wrong things that Jonah had done. All the wrong things the sailors had done. All the wrong things that anybody's done, so that anybody could turn to him and be forgiven. I think that's the most amazing and incredible news ever. Well, anyway, the captain and the sailors asked Jonah just what he meant when he said that they should get rid of their problem. And Jonah said, what you need to do is you need to chuck me overboard. And so that's just what the captain and the sailors did. They grabbed an arm and a leg each and they started to swing. 1, 2, 3. They launched Jonah off the side of the ship. Jonah landed in the water, splash! And the strangest thing happened. As soon as Jonah hit the water, the storm stopped. The sun was again shining in the sky. The waves were gently lapping against the side of the boat. The birds were tweeting, tweet, 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 tweet. The seagulls were singing, "Arr, I do like to be beside the sea," or whatever seagulls actually sing. And the captain and the sailors thought it was so amazing that they actually decided that they needed to trust and follow the one true God as well, just like Jonah did. But anyway, they sailed on, and Jonah was left stuck in the sea, wondering what on earth he was going to do, and wondering how he was going to get out of the mess that he'd found himself in. And that's when he looked out on the horizon, and he thought that this must be the luckiest day of his life. Because there, on the horizon, he could see his dream island. The island he'd always dreamt of all of his life. He thought, this is amazing, this is incredible. I thought I was in a mess, but now I've ended up with my dream island. So, Jonah started to swim towards his dream island. But as Jonah was swimming towards his dream island, he had a funny feeling that his dream island was, well, swimming towards him as well. Because you see, it wasn't actually an island at all. It was actually a great big fish. And it was swimming throughout the ocean, sucking in everything in its path. And before Jonah realised what was going on, Jonah was sucked in as well. Jonah woke up and everything was dark. He didn't know what was going on. He called out, "Hello, hello, hello, hello." "Oh, it's been a cave, 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 cave," thought Jonah. He started to walk. Squelch, squelch. That's odd, thought Jonah. He got to a wall. That was squelchy and squishy as well. There's something fishy going on here, thought Jonah. And that's when he realised that he was in the belly of a great big fish. And Jonah realised something else as well. He realised that there was a word that he needed to say. A word that's sometimes really hard to say, but a word that is so important that we need to make sure we always say it. And it's this word by here. Now, if you've never seen this before, I'm going to paint some yellow and red letters with my magic black paintbrush. So watch the yellow and red bits, and hopefully you'll see the letters start to appear. So, there's an S, and there's an O, and there's an R, and there's an R, and there's a Y. Jonah said, sorry. Now, do you think Jonah said sorry to the fish? No, it wasn't that, was it? Jonah said he was sorry to God. Because he should have listened to God in the first place and gone to the place where God wanted him to go and told the people there the message that God wanted him to tell them. So Jonah said, God, I'm really, really sorry. God, you are the only one who can save. Will you please save me, and will you please give me another chance? And you know, that's just what God did. Because God is a God of the second chances. God forgave Jonah, just like God has promised to forgive each and every one of us as well, if we say we're sorry and put our trust in him because of what he did on the cross. He says that he'll forgive anybody that says they're sorry and turns to him. But anyway, after 3 days in the belly of the great big fish, some things started to happen. Jonah started to feel a bit of a rumbling under his feet. Now, I won't mention peas or carrots or sick or anything like that, but you understand what was going on. Suddenly, Jonah was spat out of the mouth of the great big fish. He landed on the beach and he started to brush off the bits of fish guts and things like that. And then God spoke to him again. He said, Jonah, I want you to go to the place I told you to go in the first place. I want you to go to the city of Nineveh. I want you to tell the people there that they've been really, really bad, and it's made me feel really, really sad, and unless they change their ways, I'm going to have to destroy their city. And this time, Jonah decided that the best thing to do would be to listen to God. So he walked off to the city of Nineveh. It was a long walk, but eventually he got there. And when he walked in through the gates of the city of Nineveh, Jonah said, "Stop! Everybody come and listen, because I have a message for you from God." And Jonah walked about a third of the way through the city. And when Jonah got to about a third of the way through the city, he waited for the people to start to gather. And the people of Nineveh started to gather. The old and the young, the rich and the poor, mums and dads, grannies and granddads, brothers and sisters, boys and girls. Even the king of Nineveh himself came to hear Jonah's message. And when everybody had gathered, then Jonah decided it was time. He looked out at that crowd of people, all the different heads that he could see before him, all the feet, all the arms, everything else, all the people that were there. And he said, God has been watching. God has seen that you have been very, very bad. And it's made God feel very, very sad. And unless you change your ways, God is going to have to destroy your city. The people of Nineveh looked at each other and they thought, we have been really, really bad, haven't we? We have done things that are wrong. We need to change our ways. And so, just like Jonah had before, they turned and they said that they were sorry to God. But they did something else to show that they meant it. Because sometimes we might get caught doing something that's wrong and we say, oh, I'm sorry. But we don't really mean it, do we? But actually, there's something we need to do if we really mean when we say we're sorry. And that's just what they did. They did this right here. They decided that they were going to stop. They were going to stop doing those things that they'd been doing before that had made God really, really sad. And it's the same for us as well. If we say we're sorry and put our trust in Jesus, we need to show we mean it. We need to stop doing those things we used to do that were bad, that made God feel sad, and instead we need to do things that are good and pleasing to Him. And the amazing thing is that actually, when Jesus died on that cross, He didn't stay dead. But actually, what we celebrate at Easter is that He was buried in a tomb. And 3 days later, He actually rose from the dead. That actually He's not still dead, but He's alive. He rose back up into heaven and He's still alive up there today. And He said that if we put our trust in Him, then actually He'll send part of God called the Holy Spirit to come and live in our lives to help us to stop doing those things that are wrong and help us to live the lives we should live for Him. Do that day, Jonah and the people of the city of Nineveh learned that God was the God of the second chance. And the amazing thing is, God wasn't just the God of the second chance back then in the time of Jonah, but God is still the God of the second chance now and wants to give you another chance if you're just willing to turn and put your trust in Him. I hope you've enjoyed our story today, but I think it'd be great for us to take a moment to pray as well. Now, often when you pray, you might put your hands together and close your eyes, but when we pray in the Big Fish Club, we do it slightly differently. So what I need you all to do, I need you all to put your hands on your shoulders like this. When I say 1, I need you to put your arms out in front of you like this, really quickly. When I say 2, I need you to cross your arms like this. When I say 3, we're going to close our eyes, bow our heads. And that's a good place to be to pray, to help us to focus and think about what we're saying to God and to listen, to try and hear from Him as well. And then when I say 4, I want you sat up, ready to go afterwards, because we're going to have something exciting after this. So, here we go. Hands on your shoulders, ready to go. 1. Oh, you need to be quicker than that. Some of you weren't paying attention. You need to be really, really quick. So everyone, the hands on the shoulders, ready to go. Here we go. You ready? Sorry, just got a bit of a cough there. Okay. One person could be the one that lets you down. So everybody needs to be paying attention. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Ready this time. Here we go. 1. That was good. 2. 3. God, I thank you so much that you are amazing and awesome, God. I thank you that you made the heavens and the earth and everything in it. I thank you that you made me. You made me just how you want me to be. And you made me to know you. God, I thank you that you didn't leave us stuck away from you, But actually you came down to earth to make a way for us to get back to know you by dying on the cross for us. Lord, help us to understand what that means. Help us to realise, like Jonah, that we need to turn and say we're sorry and put our trust in you once again. Help us to do that, and then help us to know that because we've done that, that means that we'll be part of your family and one day get to be with you forever. Amen. 4. Sat up nice and straight. Now, we're going to hand over to Becky because she's got some really exciting craft for you this week.
Hi everyone. So before we start going through the craft that we're making today, which is this by here, we're just going to go through the memory verse as well. So that's what is written on our whale as well. So there it is. You should be able to see it in just a minute. Is our memory verse. So we're going to do a different one every week. And that was Elisha you just saw. So the memory verse this week is, I will say, Lord, you are the one who saves. And this is from the book of Jonah in the Bible. And it's in chapter 2, verse 9. So that's where it is. So it's, I will say, Lord, you are the one who saves. And to help us remember that, while we're doing our craft, we are going to write it on our whale as well. So, fantastic. Okay, so the way that we make this very lovely whale is that we take a plate. There you go, buddy. You have this one. Okay, so you take your plate and you fold it in half. Okay. So you might have a circular piece of card instead. That's absolutely fine. So you fold it in half. Thanks, Elisha. Then you unfold it. You take a small section of the front and you just fold it inside. Oh, thank you, Elisha. Yes. And if you have smaller children, grown-ups at home, maybe put the scissors so that they can't reach them. So you fold the plate like this so that a little bit of it is folded back like that. Thank you, Elisha. I do need the glue. And then you're going to take the glue and you're going to put some glue on that bit that you've just folded over. Then we can stick the plate together. So you'll notice that this bit by here looks like our one by there. So, Mama. Yes, buddy. Go. Oh, thank you. So, once you've done that, what you need to do is you need to draw a notch just a little bit in from the start of where the fold was. So, just a little triangle like this. I don't know if you can see a little triangle like this. And there, you're going to do a curve that goes to the back. But you're not going to go all the way because this is the line you're going to cut. You're going to make sure you go back and do a shape a little bit like this. I hope you should be able to see it. So that you can make sure that the whale has the fin on the very back. And as you can see, I've only coloured in one side. Okay? Because this was one I made earlier. So what you then do is you take your scissors, or you ask your grown-up to do the scissors bit for you if you're not so good with scissors, is you cut out the little triangle. And then you cut out this by here as well. Hey, buddy. Make sure you don't cut all the way to the top because otherwise you'll cut off the tail that you're trying to leave on. So you cut it all out. Don't do that, Elisha. Okay. And then you can take that bit off as well. So then you will have the tail for your whale. And there's also a hole by here as well, which is going to be for the whale's water spout, like Steve talked about in the story as well. So we are going to take a little bit of glue. Thanks, Elisha. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the whale. just by here, so that we can flap those down so that those stay like that as well. Yeah, you can have the glue back. There we go. Okay, so that's your whale. So the next bit that we probably need to do is you need to get your piece of paper. You only probably need about half of it, so you could fold it in half lengthways, and then you'll get a strip like this. You can tell this is live, can't you? So you get a strip like this, and then you want to draw some lines so that you can cut down here so that you get a lovely bit like this to go on the whale like that. So, see, yours will be much better than mine. Yours won't fall over quite like mine will. So, and then you're going to cut along them, but you need to make sure you, again, don't cut all the way down, because that'll just leave bits that are coming off. So you cut along there. Like this. Or you can ask your grown-up to do it if you're not sure, or you don't think you should be using the scissors. Just ask them to help you. Chop that by there. And then you will have a piece of paper that looks a little bit like this. And then what you need to do is you just need to roll it. So you roll it like this. Roll it all the way along. There we go. And then what you can do with it is the bit that's not sticking out, you can flatten those down a bit so it looks like it's sticking up and then whooshing back down again. Oh, sorry, Elisha, can I borrow this? Thank you. So then you can stick that through the hole you've made in the top. I don't need the glue, but thank you, Elisha. So, and then you can stick them going down so it looks a bit like that. And then once you've done those bits, you can decorate your whale whatever colours you like. I've obviously decorated this one with blues and purples. I'm going to do this one the same. So what you can do as well is, like my one by here, you can cut another notch out by there so it looks like the whale has his mouth open, like he's about to go and swallow lots of things, like Jonah in the story. So we just do that a minute. Yeah, like so. And then you can add whatever you would like onto your whale. So if I do the lines for his tummy like that, and I'm going to add an eye like that, and then we can colour him in. I've used purple and blue so that they look kind of, so the whale looks kind of bluish or big fish, because that's the kind of colour they are. So some purple and some blue as well. So I've borrowed Elisha's crayons. These aren't my crayons, these are Elisha's. If you're going to borrow anything, please ask your grown-ups if it's okay for you to use it as well. So, there we go. And so my whale looks like this. Mine is very quick. I'm sure you are going to take a lot more care over it to make sure your whale looks really, really good. And the last thing we're going to do is we are going to write the memory verse on it as well, which was, I will say, Lord, you are the one who saves. I'm going to write that on here as will. I will say, Lord, the one who saves. Jonah, chapter 2, verse 9. So we have that bit at the end just because it helps us to know where it is in the Bible. So it's in the book of Jonah, which is in the Old Testament, the first half of the Bible, and it's in chapter 2, and the verse is number 9. So I've written it on here like that, and that is how to make a whale. If grown-ups, you have smaller children at home, like Elisha, then you might want to do something slightly different. You can just have them colour in a plate and add a tail or something afterwards, or something like that. Or you could, yeah, thank you, buddy. It's all rolled down, is it? And that is our craft for this week.
Excellent. So we hope that you've enjoyed Big Fish Kids Club, our first ever week.
Yes.
We hope that you've been able to join in. You've been able to join in with the songs, enjoy the story, join in with the craft as well, and that kind of thing. And we hope that you enjoy the following weeks that we've got coming as well. So what we just want to say is that if you want to send in some pictures of your craft, you can get your grown-ups to do that through our Facebook page or whatever other means as well. And just sort of let us know as well how you think it went this week and what you think we could do to improve things, how we could change things, and keep an eye out on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page during the week for different updates of different things, including Luke, who's going to be giving a bit of an update on the memory verse to try and help you to learn that. Oh, and I forgot as well, what can they download from the description below the video?
Oh, yes, we forgot about that. We also have a sheet, so that's got a word search and that kind of thing, and it's also got the memory verse as well to help you learn it. You can download that. That will be in the description for our YouTube video.